2 weeks in a row, Chuck. How about that?
Yep.
Promo.
Back to back.
Ethan goes out, gets the Defiance cheerleaders this week to introduce our show. How about that?
They're doing a great job. And look, they're so happy. Some of them BFFs there on the right side, just happy to be around each other.
They were very happy, weren't they?
I don't know if they care about our show, but
no, but they got their moment in the sun, didn't they?
Right.
We're talking about it.
15 seconds of fame.
Woo, yeah. All right, thank you, ladies. We appreciate it. Welcome to week 7 of the Tim and Chuck Show. Week 7 already.
Yep.
Crazy.
Goes fast.
Yeah. As the weeks go along, the games get bigger and bigger. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about a big game last week in the NWAL. Brian Wasion. This week, Patrick Henry. Brian on the road at Patrick Henry.
Yep.
How about the way Brian won that game last week against Wasion, Chuck?
Boy, you
Wow.
know, and the further north you got in our coverage area, the more it rained. So, you know, it was just a downpour. And with that last 2-point conversion, obviously, it played into that last PAT attempt, fumbled snap. You practice the fire drill, you know, several times a week. You know, they practiced it, they perfected it, rolls out, hits the guy in the end zone for the 2-point win.
Well, how about the touchdown? You know, they weren't sure who scored it. Was it Schimoller? Was it the lineman that fell on him? I mean, they're still talking about that. What a way to finish that game for Brian, you know, and stay unbeaten.
And Schimoller even said it after the game. He's like, I don't know who they gave the touchdown to, if it was me or a lineman. He was just all smiles. He's like, heck yeah, we won.
Well,
you know?
Well, now they go on the road this week to Patrick Henry, and we all remember what happened last year. They had to get an onside kick where the kid was sliding out of bounds to get the ball to even have a chance to win that game. They came back and won that. Now they're going to Patrick Henry, where I think the Patriots are going to be mad and ready for it.
Oh, yeah, you know, Coach I, he's going to have the Patriots ready. And again, he's probably going to mention that once or twice, 6 times this week, you know, about how, you know, they got robbed at the end. And, you know, sometimes you just need some bulletin board fodder, and that's probably what's, you know, if it helps, that's great.
Well, both teams, again, firepower.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about Austin Schimoller. We talked about Daniel Pendergrast. We talked about Brandon Ponzak. All those kids from Brian that can score. How about Patrick Henry? We've got Toby Hernandez. He's got 15 rushing TDs.
Yeah, you know, and his yard per carry average is close to being 10 yards a carry. I think, what is it, 8.9 or something? That's phenomenal to have that many yards per carry. So and you look at Patrick Henry's offense, it's not just the Hernandez kid. There's good balance throughout in the pass and the run. So that, when you're looking at it defensively, you know, that leaves you a lot of things you've got to prepare for to try to stop.
Yeah, and again, who's going to come up and make the stop defensively? Who's going to stand out and say, hey, you're not scoring here, we're going to stop you and win this game?
Yep, exactly. And, you know, you look at big games. Brian has been in a big game recently. Is that going to help them? You know, PH, they've been rolling here. So it's sort of momentum versus a team coming in off of a big game win. So it's time to collision, see what comes out on top.
Yeah, and it's really put up or shut up time for Patrick Henry. Their last 3 games, they don't have a game in week 9, but their last 3 games are Brian, then they have Archibald, and then they have Wasion, combined 16-2.
Exactly, and you know, you're looking at it, and if you're dealing with the playoffs, which at this point in the season, you got to talk playoffs.
Yeah.
That is a lot of computer points on the line, especially for Patrick Henry. A D6 school, they're playing D3 schools. They're playing, you know, bigger schools. That's a lot of computer points. You got to win those games.
Yeah, that's going to be another fantastic NWAL encounter.
Yep.
Both teams unbeaten in the league. Yeah. How about we turn over to the GMC this week, Chuck? We've got the game over there. We've got Hicksville at Wayne Trace. The Aces have kind of righted themselves. They're 3-3, 2-1 in the conference, and they're going up against the Bully right now. Wayne Trace, unbeaten. They're rolling too. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, you know, this is going to be a really big game, and, you know, talk about it week in and week out. Games are won up in the trenches, and right now Wayne Trace is trench guys, those guys up front in their, you know, their 5-2 defensive look, and their 5 guys up front on offense. They are just manhandling people, and everybody likes to talk about the passing yards they're putting up and this and that, but man, you talk about their defensive line studs. Where else do you find a team that's got 3 or 4 down linemen that lead the team in tackles? That's rare. Usually it's linebackers, safeties. When you've got down linemen leading the team in tackles, that tells you the down guys are really controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Brock Warden, 48 tackles. He's got 4 sacks. Devin Wenslick, 33 tackles, 7.5 sacks. There's a couple of those down linemen.
Yeah, so that's, you know, defense. Everybody talks Wayne Trace's offense, but you've got to be able to move the ball on those front guys.
Can Hicksville's offense get it done? Johnny Giesecke, Zach Yoder, Caleb Johnson, those guys.
Yeah, you know, that's they're going to need a little bit of balance. We talked about in the Patrick Henry game. They're going to need that running game and that passing game. I think Hicksville is trying to throw the ball a little bit more. You can see that in their numbers, and they're really going to need that this week, because to try to run it, just purely run it against the Wayne Trace defense is going to be hard work.
Yeah, that'll be another interesting game this week.
Yep.
Now it's time to hand out some awards, Chuck. What do we got for the Rose Insurance Collision of the Week, or Collisions of the Week, I should say?
Collisions of the week. You know, Rose by any other name would not be the Rose Collision Insurance Hit of the Week, Collision of the Week. Roll that beautiful Bulldog footage from last week's game. We got Defiance quarterback Will Batt. He rolls around the right side. Jacob Hartman, sit down. He runs right over top of him, doesn't even break stride, and keeps running down the sideline. 2 or 3 more Redskins hit him. He still doesn't go down. That's collision number 1.
Number one.
Number 1. So then you go to collision number 2. This kid's still got the yips. This is what happens when you've got a quarterback that runs like a linebacker and a little small free safety tries to come up and make the play. Will Batt right up the middle. Nate Elsass, you can sit your Elsass right down, because here he comes. Bam! Folded like a wet cracker, Timmy.
Well, hey, funny you should say, when you have a quarterback that runs like a linebacker. He did play linebacker last year before playing quarterback, and that's what you get when Will Batt goes on the run.
That's right. He runs it hard, man.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Now we have your power play of the game. And it also involves Will Batt. He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Throwing the corner route. Colton Relier says, I'll take that. Stays in bounds, makes a nice catch, sets up Defiance's score against Wapakoneta last week. Batt to Relier, that is your Powerade power play of the game. Nice job, young men. We appreciate the effort. Yes, nice catch. Very nice. I think that's all we have for you for week 7 of the Tim and Chuck Show. As always, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And quick shout out to Laura Klein, Coach Klein, Kevin Klein's wife over in Bryan. She sent me a tweet wanting to know if we would pick the best looking coach of the week on the Tim and Chuck Show. And I said, I don't think
I'm going to pick myself.
Well, and I told her, I said, I wasn't sure if we were really qualified for that. And she said she would volunteer to do it. But her
volleyball coach?
Her husband would win every week. Thanks a lot, Laura, for watching the show. We will see you next week for week 8. Week 8.
Yep.
See you then.